Hi, this is Dee, and I'm doing a reading for the Age of Aquarius Spiritual Path. And this would technically be Day 3 AoA instead of AD. So, this reading's for June the 22nd, Monday, June 22nd, 2020, or Day 3 AoA. I did meditation prior. Ended up pulling these cards out while I was on Skype with a friend. The energy coming out of my hand to the deck and back up into my hand was really strong. And while I was meditating, I mean, I've described this before, but when I'm meditating, when I close my eyes, I can see Adonai, Gabriel, and some others. Their eyes, their faces, sometimes their lips. You can see their eyes moving, lips moving, facial expressions, the whole 9 yards. And I could see Adonai. I could see his eyes looking at me. And I didn't really get any telepathy, but I was thinking about the vision I got from the meditation prior to yesterday's reading, that field with the trees in it. They were like oaks or maples off to the left side. And, you know, the saying, greener pastures comes to mind. So anyway, we'll get on with the reading. And interesting handmade right underneath. The joined one, 2 of chalices. This is the underlying energy. In external alchemy, the joined one guides us to choose our allies. It designates an outer accord, but also an inner accord. In internal alchemy, this spirit guides us to unite our anime with our animus. This is the spirit of 2 becoming 1, and an omen of perfected love. Love in all its divine forms. Abyssius abyssium invocat. Sea calls to sea, or the depths of me calls out to the depths of you. Do not neglect the relationships you cherish. So that's the undercurrent of the reading. This is the overall energy for Day 3 AoA. The Dynasty, which is the 10 of Orbs. This is a new dynasty, everyone. Welcome to the Age of Aquarius. The dynasty is wealth multiplied. In the foreground, the old man faces the young man. They personify inheritance, legacy, and the multi-generational dynasty. This card portends advancing prestige. The dynasty is the spirit of collective power that strengthens a tribe. The theme here is successorship. It can also suggest that personal impact on you of much greater national or global affairs. Something greater going on in the collective has reached down to directly affect you at the individual and personal level. What the 10 of Orbs portends is gains to be had from that impact. While the 10 of Orbs marks a pinnacle of material wealth and success, the Book of Thoth reminds us that the success will quickly go inert, and from that inertia degenerate and rot, if the pinnacle is not immediately put to productive use toward the greater good. Thus, With the benefits and gains you shall reap, you must direct those benefits and gains toward a greater good. Do not harvest all the blessings for yourself. It's interesting, this card, because today was the Ring of Fire. We personally celebrated going into the age of Aquarius today. I had a deja vu today, so did Nell. And what's interesting is the moon eclipsed the sun, and they are both here on this card, up here in the corners. And we are in the summer solstice as well. So, yeah, something big that affects us all is happening. And we all know it. Overall energy for day 3 AoA. The grotesque. 5 of chalices. The grotesque is loss after the waning of joy, a personal feeling of disfigurement, a mystery, an unseen power rising. I choose to see that card as this, an unseen power rising. And look at what's right here. The pentacle. That's the star. It represents the goddess. The unseen power rising. When your blood, sweat, and tears have been expended without yielding fruition or meaning. The grotesque is a spirit who will appear by your side. Yet behind the grotesque are 2 intact chalices, symbolic of powers and personal talismans to help navigate social circumstances where you feel like the disfigured one, the outcast, and to gift you with arcane powers that have always been reserved for the grotesque ones. Your differences, which others have denigrated, are the very powers and talismans that will catapult you above all others and toward greatness. The grotesque is the spirit here to guide you on that daunting aspiration. Yep. An unseen power rising. The dynasty. The unseen power rising. That's because we entered a new age. Our power is rising. The outliers. You know who you are. You have a spark of the goddess in you. And that unseen power rising is right there on that card. Wow. That just blew my mind. Because I was sitting here and kind of going over the cards, mulling them over. It's like, what are they trying to tell me? And I was looking at the numerology and stuff on these cards, and now I know what they're trying to tell me. The moon eclipsed the sun. We're moving out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. The moon eclipsed the sun. Yep, that's happening. Okay. This is what we need to make our highest priority tomorrow. Day 3 AoA. The Ivory Shield, power and authority of water. That is the Queen of Cups in other decks. Here it's the Ivory Shield. Queen of Chalices. You are shielded against ailments, disease, and infirmity. Remember, this card was in this lot yesterday. What to be mindful of and prepare for. Okay. Now she's center stage. You are shielded against ailments, disease, and infirmity. Malefic energies that can cause malady or emotional afflictions are present in your space, challenging your vitality. And so the Ivory Shield appears in your path to help you preserve your own wellness. Inscribed around the Queen's shield, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Her shield features the Muzidi, a West African symbol of purification and protection. When the Queen of Chalices appears, you may be experiencing a dark night of your own soul, an alchemical darkening stage of your path, and she is here to give you shelter, to accompany you by your side as you make your way out of danger. She is your defender as you walk through the valley of shadows. Know that she is present. Know that you are not alone in your dark hour. A female ancestor or one from your maternal lineage can appear to you through the Ivory Shield. And then here we go with that roguish behavior yet again today. This card has been quite instrumental in the readings the last 3 days. So here we go with that Seven of Swords, the Rogue. The Rogue is mischief personified. Hear the story of Loki cutting off Sif's beautiful golden locks of hair while she slept. Sif is the Norse goddess of earth, of plenitude, and the grains, affinity, fertility, family, marriage, mother of might and magnificence. She was also a seer. The mind, the thought plane, and the intellect are the weakening barriers to materialize success. The Seven of Swords denotes an unstable mind and unstable efforts. But I don't think that's what's going on here. The Rogue is the spirit of cunning and scheming. We see compromised integrity. Yet the Rogue is also the personification of one who is misunderstood. And I think that's where we're going with this. So when the spirit appears to you, you are the rogue in pursuit of an undertaking that diverges from the mainstream. We all are. Because the mainstream is the absolute utter horse shit they've been teaching everybody in school and in church. There you go. We are diverging from the mainstream. Bank on it. You may get blowback for it. Oh yeah, prepare. And yet take heart that the toad on the lily pad is symbolic of a rainmaker, an omen of ambition that begets plenitude, while the snail calls in the grace of the eminence, the blessings of the 9 of orbs. A little bit of roguish behavior is called for if you seek to achieve your goal. You are being challenged to confront an ethical dilemma. Will you choose to follow the rules or will you break them? That card has been in every reading. Aquarius and the Moon, both on this card. The Wish Granted, 9 of Chalices. One more, there we go. 9 chalices are arranged in the formation of a magic square, a grid that denotes power. This is a spirit of personal happiness achieved after earning material gains. The wish granted is the never-ending blessing of abundance. All that you conceive of will manifest, is manifesting. This is one of the more profound keys in the tarot architecture. The Nine of Chalices is a channel through which gift-giving deities of old folklore can pass through and bless you. The imagery here is symbolic of a sacred space within our own inner temple. The well is iconic of Mimir's well from the Nordic mythos, where Odin's eye was sacrificed. At Mimir's well is where you will find wise counsel from the gods. Drink from Mimir's well to gain knowledge. When this card appears to you, focus on each of the 9 chalices in turn, reciting light, love, life 3 times. As you focus on one chalice, recite, and it goes on to say you move to each chalice. So, light, love, life. Light, love, life. Light, love, life. Such a ritual ensures that the wish you have petitioned for shall be granted by the gift-giving gods of old lore. And the next card, the Contender, 5 of Scepters. The Contender is the spirit of a zero-sum game. This is a spirit appearing before you when you face competition. This is the battle, the contention you fight for domination. This is the spirit who helps you through a rivalry for supremacy. There is strife in your world, and the Contender is the spirit here to help you navigate that strife. So the highest priority is navigating some strife after some wish fulfillment. You're going to use a little roguish behavior, and you are protected in doing all of this. Because you're going to have a bit of a dark night of the soul through through this. Queen of Cups, an emotional queen. What to be mindful of and prepare for. These 2 cards in this slot have appeared in the readings a lot too. The Shining Quarry. Wild and fertile land. That is a Knight of Orbs. You are now being given divine instruction to alchemize the elemental nature of Earth, to increase your material resources, assets, and to cultivate fruitful abundance. The alchemical instructions the Spirit brings you is this: crystallize your work ethic into something finally solid and tangible. Create definitions, then slow down, decelerate, so that you have a chance to reflect and meditate. You do not need to be on the path of rapid increase. Not yet. Now is the time to cultivate your resources organically, taking it slow without giving in to the temptation of urgency. Be methodical. The Shining Quarry marks the encounter with one's own earth nature and making sense of our material attachments. There will be realized outcome in your personal economics, finances, property matters, business, income, or earnings. The Shining Quarry is here as a guardian spirit to help you navigate the work cut out for you. having to build a stronger earthly foundation so that you can increase your access to sources and thus bring about the success you have been seeking. Et omnia qua cum facit prosperabuntur, and in all things he shall prosper. Persist forth, and your efforts shall be successful. The shining quarry is with you to make certain of that. So that's what to be mindful of and prepare for. Along with, once again, Key 20, Apocalypse, Last Judgment. That card has been making its way into the readings a whole bunch. This is the spirit presented upon your path when you have arrived at a point of no return. What has transpired is now irreversible. The only way out is through. This is that moment of full realization for why all that has happened to you has happened. The apocalypse is the spirit of revelation, when the answers that are hidden before are now obvious. This is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. When the apocalypse appears in divination with other cards, it adds emphasis of significant spiritual importance to those other cards. Pay closer attention when Key 20 is present. The apocalypse is a mythic personification of an event horizon. This is a space-time in which no event that comes subsequent can affect the outcome, because all that could have affected it has either transpired or not transpired. The apocalypse card appears when you have crossed the boundary of where gravitational pull over you is such that turning back is impossible. So that's our reading for 3 AoA, Day 3 AoA, also known as Monday, Moon Day, June the 22nd, 2020. Hope you all have a fantastic day. And remember, we're all interconnected. We all know that. We can feel each other. We know we're connected. Love you out past the moon, the stars, the cosmos, and all that is. Right through the illusion of everything here. Have a grand moon day.